Giudice slams Bethenny Frankel for trying to gaslight her amid feud. We're still trying to understand how and why Bethenny Frankel ignited a feud with Giudice, but stranger things have happened. The outspoken 54-year-old triggered the Real Housewives of New Jersey star when she slammed Luis Ruiz and Teresa Giudice over their latest tax woes. Gia clapped back, and since then, there's been a back and forth between them on social media. Gia spoke out again during a recent interview and accused Bethenny of trying to gaslight her. She also disclosed that her family is not happy with the RHONY alum for discussing their financial situation. Meanwhile, Bethenny recently addressed a quote online that claimed to be an alleged clapback from her to Gia. RHONY's Gia Giudice says Bethenny Frankel tried to gaslight her. Gia spoke to People about her ongoing feud with Bethenny, noting that she and her family were not happy about her comments. "I get it, it's what we signed up for, but if people could refrain from saying things, that's all I was saying," said the 24-year-old. "Just treat people the way you would want to be treated. There was no need." At this point, her statement back, "She was honestly trying to gaslight me," Gia added. The Next Gen NYC star also reaffirmed that despite the news of financial issues, things are fine with Luis and Teresa. "Like I said on my podcast, everything is getting taken care of," she said. Bethenny addresses a fake quote to Gia. Meanwhile, Bethenny's latest response to Gia wasn't actually from the RHONY alum. In a now-deleted post, Instagram user @BravoandCocktails claimed Bethenny clapped back at Gia after the RHONY star slammed her on the Casual Chaos podcast. The Instagram post claimed Bethenny retorted, "I made my first million before I even knew who Giudice was, so forgive me if I'm not taking financial lessons from the daughter of a walking case study." However, the Skinny Girl Cocktails founder claimed the quote was fake. "There's a fake quote of me to Giudice that I did not say. It's actually a well-written quote because I wrote it," confessed Bethenny. "It's kind of going around, and people are reporting on it," she continued. "I don't care in this case. I mean, what do I care? People say things all the time." Meanwhile, Bethenny's fake statement is why Gia accused her of gaslighting her. "I didn't say half of the things that she said in her statement," said Gia. "I was never recommending financial advice or anything along those lines." In a move that sent Bravo fans reeling and social media into overdrive, Real Housewives of New Jersey star Gia Giudice has clapped back at Real Housewives of New York City alum Bethenny Frankel, accusing the skinny girl mogul of gaslighting her amid their escalating feud. What started as a war of words over a podcast episode has morphed into a full-blown generational reality star showdown, and Gia is making it clear she's not here to be patronized. "I may be young, but I'm not stupid," Gia, 24, wrote in a scathing Instagram story on Thursday night. "You don't get to twist my words, question my experience, or act like you know my life better than I do. That's called gaslighting, and I see right through it." The drama ignited earlier this week when Bethenny, 53, commented on her Just Be with Bethenny Frankel podcast that Gia had grown up in a toxic environment and insinuated that the young reality star had a skewed sense of reality because of the show's influence. She also took a dig at Gia's family, suggesting that the Housewives machine had warped her perception of right and wrong. Cue the virtual fireworks. Within hours, Gia posted a TikTok, part reaction, part thesis paper, meticulously breaking down Bethenny's comments and calling them unfair, hypocritical, and rooted in a fake concern narrative. She even threw in a pointed, "Weren't you the one who built a brand off the very system you're now slamming?" But Thursday night's Instagram post took things to the next level. Gia, no stranger to public family battles or growing up under scrutiny, tapped into her voice with the poise of someone who's been through media storms before. She accused Bethenny of weaponizing empathy and attempting to diminish her opinions by hiding behind age and status. "You act like you're lifting up younger women, but all I see is someone who gets uncomfortable when we don't stay quiet," Gia wrote. "I have every right to speak my truth. My past doesn't disqualify me, it defines me." Clash of the Housewives generations. Fans have been quick to weigh in on the feud, which has been dubbed the Housewives cross-franchise feud of the year. And for good reason. Gia, the daughter of RHONJ icon Teresa Giudice, practically grew up in the Bravo limelight. From performing her emotional ballad, Waking Up in the Morning, as a pre-teen to fiercely defending her mom in reunion specials, Gia has evolved into one of the most recognizable housewives' offspring, and one who's not afraid to speak her mind. Bethenny, on the other hand, is known for her sharp tongue, quick wit, and her no-holds-barred takedowns. While she's long been vocal about the problematic elements of reality TV, especially since her own departure from the franchise. Critics argue that she tends to center herself in those conversations and alienate younger voices in the process. This time, those voices are clapping back. Bethenny wants to be seen as a truth teller, but when someone challenges her narrative, she defaults to condescension, Gia said. It's not empowering when you silence someone under the guise of concern. Team Gia versus Team Bethenny. Naturally, the fan base is split. Team Gia fans are praising her for standing her ground and calling out what they see as performative activism from Frankel. Twitter, or X, as it's now known, exploded with memes, side-by-side quote breakdowns, and a resurgence of Gia Giudice was right hashtags. One user wrote, "Bethenny underestimates the power of Gen Z. Gia didn't just respond, she dissected. And she did it with facts, not feelings." Meanwhile, Team Bethenny supporters argue that the former RHONI star is simply using her platform to raise awareness about the darker side of reality TV, something she's been doing for years. Bethenny is trying to change the system from within, a fan commented. If Gia's offended, maybe she needs to reflect on why it hit a nerve. But Gia isn't backing down, and she's not letting the narrative get away from her. "I'm not a kid anymore. I've earned my voice, and I intend to use it," Gia concluded. "You don't get to rewrite my story to make your point." Reality check or reality shade. Bethenny has yet to respond directly to Gia's post, though sources close to the former RHONI star say she stands by her commentary and insists her intent was never to attack Gia personally. Still, that hasn't stopped speculation that Bethenny may address the controversy in an upcoming podcast episode, or perhaps in a TikTok of her own, as she's recently leaned into Gen Z platforms to widen her audience. In the meantime, Gia is getting plenty of support from her fellow Bravo kids, including Albie Manzo, Brielle Bierman, and even Alexia Umansky, all of whom have posted subtle nods of solidarity. Some have even hinted at a possible Bravo Kids Unfiltered roundtable to address the generational tensions within the reality TV world. "This is bigger than a feud," a source close to the Giudice family said. "He is speaking for a lot of people who grew up in the spotlight, and she's doing it with more grace than some adults twice her age. A new voice for a new era. Whether you're Team Gia or Team Bethenny, one thing is clear. The old rules of reality TV no longer apply. The kids who once stood quietly in the background while adults hashed out petty drama are now front and center, demanding to be heard, seen, and respected. Gia Giudice isn't just Teresa's daughter anymore. She's a force in her own right. And if her recent clapback is any indication, she's only getting started. Gaslighting only works if you let it," Gia wrote in her final Instagram slide. "And I'm done letting it." Mick dropped.